Everyone, welcome. This is Salena here, and welcome to Genetics at a Glance. Today's question is, I'm taking B12, but I'm still don't have energy. What else can I take, or what else can I do, or what is it that I'm missing? So we're going to delve real quick here into the B12 pathway, some of the symptoms involved, and really how that all works. So let's look at my favorite pathway here. And this one I really like because it combines several different pathways that are closely connected together. And I talk a lot about these. That's the methylation cycle, the transsulfuration, which is also our detox cycle, and then our biopterin cycle, which is also our neurotransmitter cycle. So we have the methylation is kind of here in this top middle and right. The transsulfuration is the bottom right. And then our neurotransmitters is over here on this left here in the bottom left. So where B12 falls into this is right here, about in the middle on the right-hand side. We have the methionine cycle, this big oval, and then the small circle inside is B12. Now B12 kind of has to get recycled and converted into something that's active for methyl B12 for our body to use it to keep this methylation cycle and folate cycle and all these cycles working. So you have this methylcobalamin. It combines your MTR with other cofactors. So it needs methylfolate, it needs zinc, and it also needs homocysteine. So the four of those things are needed for this to work and to move on to methionine and then over here to something called SAMe. And he has it labeled as SAM here on his chart, and throughout this chart is SAM, but that's also called SAMe. SAMe is really important because it goes to over 200 processes in our body as a cofactor, and especially you will notice in things like the genes that end with MT, that's methyltransferase, so like the COMT gene, the HNMT gene, the PNMT gene. Those things are going to need SAMe to work, at least SAMe, if not other things for those to work. So it's really important that this cycle is working well. So if you're taking B12, then you think, okay, well then all this should work. But if we don't have these other things working, that would be the first question that I would ask. Is there enough methylfolate? Is there enough zinc? Is there enough homocysteine? If those things are not there, then you can take all the B12 and all you want. It's not going to make that cycle work. Okay, we're going to zoom a little bit closer here on this pathway. So this here is just the methionine cycle. I like that other one because it kind of puts all these cycles together, but let's just zoom in a little bit on this methionine cycle here. So here's that B12. Other things that will slow this process down, besides not having the other ingredients, like we had a cake and we only have a bunch of flour, if we don't have the salt and we have the sugar and vanilla and whatever else, just having the flour is not going to make a cake for us. So the other things that can slow this process down, let's say we have all those ingredients, well, if we don't have an oven or no electricity, we can't bake it, those kinds of things are also going to keep us from making a cake. So the other things that will slow this process down are heavy metals especially, or pathogens. Things are going to lead to TNF alpha, things like the heavy metals like lead, mercury, nitric oxide, too much hydrogen peroxide. Our body makes hydrogen peroxide whenever it's trying to get rid of reactive oxygenated species. So our body makes the hydrogen peroxide to kill things off, to get rid of things, and then it will convert that into water. But if it doesn't convert it into the water afterwards, then this can also slow down this process. So that's the second thing that I would be looking at is, okay, are there other factors that are slowing this process down? Even though I have the ingredients that I need, is there something else that's slowing it down? One other thing to note here, in this B12 process and the recycling here of the B12, we need the SAMe. So it makes hydrogen peroxide in this cobalamin. So it's something else for the hydrogen peroxide. It's not just like in getting rid of things, but there's hydrogen peroxide as a byproduct of this recycling. So if it's happening too much, then we're going to slow down the process. It's kind of like a catch. Our body has like a safety switch saying, hey, we've got too much of this, we don't need to keep making more. So the other thing is that it needs SAMe as a cofactor. Well, if we are making the SAMe and then we use it to make it the SAMe. So it's kind of one of those catch-22s that can happen really, really quick on that. And so making this cycle work, I wouldn't just run out and get SAMe. That's one of the questions I get. Oh, should I just go take some SAMe? SAMe also, you can see here, will slow down the process of MTHFR. So if we have too much, again, there's these checks and balances. So we just got to really navigate this carefully and look closely at the symptoms that you have. I really like to look at the nutrients that are being intaken on a daily basis. So where I like to go for that is nutritiondata.self.com, and I will have a link to that in below the video. And you can get like a really good snapshot. You enter in the foods that you're eating, the quantity that you're eating, and then it will give you and analyze that and give you a list of all your micronutrients, like your B vitamins, your selenium, your zinc. It will even break down the types of sugars that you're getting, whether it's lactose, fructose, glucose, those kinds of things, and the types of fats and proteins as well. But I really like to look at it for the micronutrients, because then we can know that, oh, look, you're really not getting much zinc, or you know what, you're getting a lot of zinc in your diet. Zinc is not the issue. Before you start chasing and doing a lot of other tests, you can just get some kind of a general idea of that. So if you're getting the nutrients, and if you're not processing them, that kind of gives you the rabbit holes to start to chase. Like, okay, we're getting all the nutrients that I need, but for whatever reason, my body is not utilizing them properly. Why would that be? So that can kind of field which questions and which kind of things to kind of go after, like which kind of tests to do, those sorts of things. So if you're taking B12 and you're not seeing results with energy, then I would start looking at some of these other cofactors. Do you have enough zinc? Are you getting enough methylfolate in your diet? Are you getting folate in your diet, which your body converts to methylfolate? I'm not saying to go out and take methylfolate, but are you getting enough methylfolate? Do you have enough zinc in your diet? What's your homocysteine levels like? Is there your homocysteine levels at optimal level, like around 6, maybe 7 is kind of the max, like 5 to 7 is kind of the range that I usually look for. If you get too low, you don't have enough to recycle as well as to go to your detox. Your detox is where your body gets rid of the homocysteine. So once it goes to detox, you're not going to have access to it anymore. It's going to get eventually kind of eliminated out of the body. So those are some of the questions that I would be looking at. If you have anything else that you would like to ask, or if you want to know more about that, you can certainly reach out to me and always message me any questions. I'd love to answer those. We will see you guys next time. Have a great day. Take care.